What's up YouTube, this is Galactigod, and I'm coming at you today with the Volcanic deck list from the deck we used in our most recent duel videos. So if you haven't already checked out those duels, make sure you do so. I shall have links to them down here at the bottom of the screen in annotations. So once you've gone and checked out those duel videos, come to my back and take a look at this deck list. What I'm going to do in this video is kind of give you a rundown of the cards we used in this deck and kind of give you a little bit of the reasoning behind why we chose the cards that we did. So I'm going to go ahead and get started first off with the monsters. Okay, so up first is Volcanic Doomfire, probably not the best of the big boss monsters out there for any kind of archetype or theme. But with this duel video and this deck in general, we really kind of wanted to make the theme decks the way we wanted to kind of play them. We kind of wanted to use some of the off-the-beat cards that you wouldn't normally see or use. In a lot of the duel videos, we try and make competitive decks and, kind of showcase them. But every once in a while, we like to kind of showcase some of the at-home fun play kind of decks. So with the Harpy Lady and the Volcanic, although these are not competitive decks, they are quite fun to play and kind of cool to get some of the weird, crazy combos off that are in them. So for that purpose, we have our one Volcanic Doomfire. From there, of course, we have 3 copies of Volcanic Rocket. This allows you to get your main spell in the deck, that being Blaze Accelerator, which then allows you to do all kinds of crazy combos. For other big beater support, we are playing 3 copies of the Volcanic Slicer. It's good, strong, 1800 beater, has a little burn effect that can hit your opponent for 500 points of damage, which for some reason came in real handy for Gimbleton when he was playing this deck against me in the recent duel video. From there, we have 3 copies of Volcanic Shell, probably one of the cards you want to use most often with your Blaze Accelerator. Really cool. Once he's in the graveyard, you can pay 500, add another one from your deck to your hand. Really, really cool. From there, we have another kind of burn effect monster, being Thestalos the Fire Monarch. Fits the theme well since he is Pyro and can use really well with our next card, which is Royal Firestorm Guards. Basically, it's kind of like your Pot of Avarice of the deck. You could shuffle some Pyro monsters that are in your graveyard back into your deck and then draw. So really good draw engine for the deck. From there, we have a little bit more support in the form of Flamvell, as we have the Firedog, Magician, Origin, and then the Flamvell Baby. Some of these you can use with the spell cards such as Rekindling, some of them you cannot. I just wanted to have a lot of good synchro options in this deck. You're already going to have a lot of good exceed options with the different ranks, and especially rank 4s are really easy to make in the deck. But I wanted to get some good tuners in there. We got a good range, a 1, a 2, and a 4, so when you hit with the Firedog, you can just go right into just about any kind of exceed. Pretty cool, pretty fun to play. And that's going to round up the monsters for the deck. So from there, we're playing 2 copies of Blaze Accelerator. I've seen a lot of Volcanic deck builds where they only use just the one, and that's good. Some people like to use just one because you can recycle it with your Volcanic Rocket. But for this scenario, we went ahead and used 2 just so we can try and hurry up and speed it up, so in case we drew into our Tri-Blaze Accelerator a little too early, which is kind of in the glary side. This is essentially what you need to get out your Volcanic Doomfire. It's the only real reason why it's in there. It's not as good as Blaze Accelerator. So it's really just in there because we have the boss monster in there. From there, we have our 2 copies of Rekindling. Kind of speaks for itself. It's going to get some of your Volcanic stuff out, such as the shells and whatnot, but mostly to kind of redo your Flamvell monsters or kind of go for some big plays with that. From there, we have 3 copies of Pot of Duality to try and add some consistency. 3 MSTs, Mind Control, Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and Monster Reborn to kind of round up the staples of the spells. So for traps, we're playing 2 copies of Solemn Warning, 2 Torrentials, 2 Fiendish Chains, a D-Prison, and then a Compulsory. Pretty kind of standard kind of traps that you'd see in a lot of decks, so nothing too exciting or different to be used there. So for the extra deck, we have Stardust, Scrap Dragon, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Black Rose, Brionac, Magical Android, Catastor, and Armory Arm. For exceeds, we got Number 39 Utopia, Number 39 Utopia Ray, Maestroke the Djinn there, Wind Up Djinn mains, Number 30 Acid Golem, Number 17 Leviathan, and Leviair the Sea Dragon to kind of round up the rest of your exceeds and the extra deck. Well, there you have it, YouTube. This is the Volcanic deck that was used against me in the most recent duel video. Basically what it was we didn't want to do the same old competitive decks over and over again in the duel videos. We wanted to come up with something more interesting, something more fun. And so what we decided to do was kind of use a couple of good old archetypes that we really kind of enjoyed that we haven't seen out there in quite a while. And so for that purpose, we kind of came up with Volcanic and the Harpy Lady. From there, once we made our deck builds, we kind of just went back and forth play testing. Sometimes I'd play Volcanic, sometimes I'd play Harpy Lady, sometimes Gimbleton would play one or the other, and we just kind of had a blast enjoying the old school decks and the themes, and trying to get out those crazy weird combos that you can do in them. Sometimes you don't always need to play competitive decks. Sometimes you can have a good time playing Yugi just using the old school kind of fun, non-top tier decks. I know we had a blast doing it in these videos and playing them off on the side, and getting prepared for them and learning the decks over the week or two that we were using them. So in the comment section below, let me know what you think of the Volcanic deck and non-top tier decks in general. Do you enjoy playing them, or are you purely a competitive kind of player? And I guess that's it for now. This is Galactic God.